Is the transfer portal ruining college football? And the reason I say this is because Dylan Raiola expected to enter the NCAA transfer portal, leaving Nebraska. A whole bunch of other big-name quarterbacks left a few days ago as well. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway, Cincinnati quarterback Brandon Sorsby, in Michigan State quarterback Aiden Chillis. There's a couple other names that have popped up that have left heading to the transfer portal. Sam Levitt, Arizona State being one as well. Dylan Raiola, when you look at some of these, his timeline, if you will, he's got 7 different teams since 2021. Now, some of these are high school, obviously, but just trying to get to the right fit. Is this good for NFL? Does NFL scouts like this? The fact that you bounce back and forth? Let's look at Dylan Raiola's timeline since 2021. Played for Burleson High School out of Texas. 2022, he went to Chandler High School in Arizona. In May of 2022, he committed to Ohio State. And then in 2023, he transfers to Buford High School out of Georgia. So guess what? After he goes to Georgia, he decides, I'm going to commit to Georgia in May of 2023. Then just 6 months later, December of 2023, he commits to Nebraska. And then 2 years later, in December of 2025, he decides to enter the transfer portal. He will be going to another school. Technically, he's only played for one college team, but just the thought process of going back and forth, making up your mind, it's absolutely insane. Is the transfer portal ruining the sport we love?
The way it's structured right now, a little bit. Yeah, certainly. Ever since we started the show, I started paying more attention to the NFL, and it's so weird to see guys under contract. Like this year's going to end, and we're not like, is Lamar going to stay in Baltimore? Is Drake May going to stay for the is he going to stay in New England? What's going to happen? Like, he's had such a successful year. They could offer him so much money in Miami. It's a different game in college. If it was
the case, Burrow would probably be hitting the portal this year if that was the case. But yeah,
he would have been gone, my friend. Yeah. He would have been gone. The reason I bring that up is because it's like a different game. It's like not even the same thing. I had known how bad it was, and then once I started looking back at the NFL stuff, like really dialing in, the way my mind was acting, and I caught it acting that way, that was when I realized this is bad. Like, this is, you want to say it's not that bad. Like, it makes sense. Like, this is fair to the athletes. You're not taking away opportunities. Something has to change. This is not how it's meant to be. Is this concerning to NFL teams? You threw that question out there. Yes and no. It shows initiative. You got to go get what you want to go get. Like, I get that. But also, yeah, the loyalty aspect. Also, like, how much do they really care about that if you're going to be successful for them on the field because you'll be under contract? Like, there are so many aspects to this. But Dylan Raiola, someone's going to go get a really good quarterback. I think Texas Tech has the opportunity to potentially do something hilarious here. We'll see what that looks like. But, man, to answer your question, like, such a good question. Is it ruining college football? Like, I don't know if it's ruining it, but, man, it is not. It's not right. Something's wrong. I'll tell you that much.
He's not the only one that's making crazy moves, right? This guy has gone to so many other schools. Georgia State quarterback TJ Finley. If you've heard that name before, it's because his name has been around college football for probably the same amount of time Nick's been alive. He plans to enter the NCAA transfer portal as well. Listen to this. He is a former, and this is actually played for, actually suited up for, not just committed or decided to go and then jump back and forth. He is a former LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky, and Tulane quarterback, and of course at Georgia State as well. He's going to be filing an NCAA waiver for his 7th year of eligibility. When is you just say, hey man, enough is enough?
Look, I respect the hustle. Like, if I could play for 7 years in the NCAA, I absolutely would. So I'm not going to,
especially in the money time right now.
Oh, 100%. And you know that, I mean, this guy's career might be over, once his NCAA kind of time runs up. I don't know if this guy's got a lot of NFL chatter around him. So I can't blame this guy for using the system the way that it's built right now. But this is that conversation of, I'm sure he has his COVID year in there and everything, and the COVID years are phasing out. But my goodness. Like, we were running into this a few years ago. You had guys playing for 6, 7, 8 years. That's not college ball. You've got guys who are just jumping schools, 4 schools in 4 years. I guess that's college ball now, but that's not really football. I feel like it's not historically college football. There is so much wrong with this that I don't know if it will ever be right. And now, like you said, you kind of on the end of my last answer, you threw in there like this isn't Raiola's thing. This is not any player's fault. I want to make that very clear. This is the system that's been set in front of them. Go do what you got to do. There's going to be pros and cons to every decision you make, but the system as a whole has a major problem. And I think to fix it, it's like at some, like when you total a car, they give you the value of like what it would cost to fix your car, and it's more than the value of the car. You just go get a new car. If you have a boat that literally has more holes than Swiss cheese in it, you don't patch all the holes. There'd be way too much duct tape or whatever it is, flex tape. You just go get a new boat, man. Like, I think we're at the point where like this is going to be a problem where we can't just throw some fix on this. We can't just go slap some flex tape on the side of a glass wall and say, hey, we've sealed the hole. We have to completely overhaul the system, and that will never happen. I don't know where college football goes from here. Dylan Raiola, I hope you're the best. Wherever you go, I think you're going to see success. But I do think that this gives a peek into, because he's been the guy for Nebraska. Even if you look beyond, his high school transfers and this and that and the other, like he's been the guy. And what has Nebraska done to warrant him leaving? What is it? They just haven't been successful enough. I don't actually am so curious why he's leaving, because by my vision, Nebraska is one of the top teams one of the top college football programs in the country right now. I think they're absolutely up and coming. So that's part of the problem too. Why are you leaving a team like that?
Yeah, and a former NFL head coach, so obviously he knows how to prep and get players ready for the NFL as well. You brought up boats. This is ships, not boats. You got to make sure you have the same. You make sure you get the right thing here. Ships, not boats. But Navy quarterback Blake Horvath, obviously talking Army Navy game on Saturday. He came up with a really interesting quote after the game, kind of talking about the transfer portal and how other teams talk about how their teams are brotherhoods and things like that. And he said something, and I want to get your thoughts on it. He said, it's kind of insulting to hear other teams throw around the term, and he was saying the term brotherhood, to say they're a brotherhood. And meanwhile, they're bringing in 20, 30 guys in the portal. Guys are leaving. Guys are getting paid more than other dudes. This team, speaking of Navy, and Army's the same way, Air Force as well, this team is truly a brotherhood from the alumni to the plebes. What we go through, it was the message we had all week. 97% of the work has already been done. It's that 3% at the end. So what I'm trying to get to is like, with this transfer portal obviously being a huge impact to the game of college football, with players leaving and going every year, 20, 30 guys, as Blake Horvath mentioned, the Navy quarterback in this one, you still have some teams that are doing it the traditional way. Obviously, they're not in the college football playoffs. But what do you think? Do you think Blake Horvath makes a good point here about the brotherhood?
Yeah, it's just different than it's been. And I think that's part of it. Like you're just not going to always have things change, and I think that for better or worse, it's the situation right now. And it's a lot closer to the NFL. Like we talked about last week, the Utah, with the $500 million private equity deal. Shout out to everyone who's watched our stuff. I saw the comment, like a lot of negative talk about this, but what's the actual negative? One of the actual negatives is we're getting closer to that, kind of G League semi-pro look. You're going to get away from the brotherhood. You're going to get away from, committing to a place and playing there for 4 years. Maybe you don't start for even 3 of them. Maybe you don't start at all. Maybe you just you picked the wrong school but you learned so much on that team and you became such good, friends or teammates or brothers or whatever you want to, like whatever term you want to use with those guys in the locker room. It all made it worth it. You just don't get that anymore. And I guess whether or not you view that as a positive or a negative is like up to you. I feel like that's a negative. Like that's what college ball is about. And that's what a lot of coaches talk about. Like, hey, enjoy this like while you're in college right now, because in the pros, it's not like this. It's not a brotherhood. Everyone's out there getting paid. They're going to do what's best for them and their family. They're going to move on if they got to move on. Like it's different than the college with the portal situation, but there is contracts. And once your contract's up, like they're not going to stay just to stay. In college, you stay because you stay. It's different now. So I think he makes a good point. I'm not going to lie to you, but it is different. It's just different.